The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So, yesterday you had the Easy Fire, a new wildfire in California that seemed to come out of these 60-mile-an-hour winds that were hitting the area, and it swept fire, the Easy Fire, across the southern part of Cali, specifically in Ventura County. You had 30,000 residents in that region, in the Simi Valley and all of that were actually forced to evacuate due to the fire. So, man, it's real over there in Cali. It's been environmentalists say because of how dry the land is and how windy it is. Real war on graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure y'all sign that petition too, yo. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. You can find the change.org link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can go straight to change.org and look it up. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Bob Bishop Grady, $hip Grady, laying out exactly why he should be removed from that platform. Now, in Chile, actually, you have the president of Chile, Sebastián Piñera. He actually made the announcement that Chile will not be hosting the United Nations Climate Summit as they had intended to, or has been planned. They also won't be hosting APEC, or the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Conference. You know, mass protests over there in Chile have actually entered their third consecutive week. We're talking about anti-government shit. So as is happening seemingly in a lot of places around the world. So maybe they feel like it's not safe there. Maybe they got some other type of plans. We're in war on graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure y'all sign that petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter, man. Find that change.org link in the video description. If you're watching this on YouTube, go straight to change.org. Look it up. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Bob Bishop Grady, $hip Grady, letting you know exactly why he should be removed from the platform. From violating Twitter policies to sharing misinformation to putting even U.S. troops in danger. Like, it's all from the Twitter account. It's gotta stop. Now, it's funny because at UCLA in Cali, CEO of JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, was actually in attendance at this forum, and then people started protesting against him, you know, rolling out banners and making it, causing a lot of ruckus, basically calling on him to end JP Morgan and Chase's investment into the coal, oil, and gas industry. Now, the crazy thing is, this is after the Rainforest Action Network actually put out a report saying that JP Morgan and Chase has actually invested $200 billion into the fossil fuel industry ever since that 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. Real war on graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Over in Walsh County, North Dakota, there was a massive oil spill. There was out of one of these pipelines, of all pipelines, it was the Keystone XL pipeline. Y'all remember how a couple years back they were warring over that land? The natives, the environmentalists, going at it with the police officers and the troops, telling them how they weren't allowed to put that land down there. People, there was at least one fatality, a lot of violence, a lot of people arrested, and they still put that pipeline up there, and that motherfucker leaked on Wednesday and they didn't even stop the leak by late Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? So it's they don't know how much has actually poured out, but it's 15 feet wide and a quarter mile long. The company that actually made the pipeline is called TransCanada. Well, it's now called TC Energy, and they basically are held responsible for that. But that's a lot of fucking oil to be on somebody's land, especially some of that land being, man, around sacred ground. You know, you can't fuck around. Green War on graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So you have on Capitol Hill shit getting busy because you have the House of Representatives. They're actually voting today to formalize the impeachment process, and it's the first time the full House is actually going to vote on this scenario. So there's been a lot of votes amongst the House committees. Now, you also have Tim Morrison, a top Russian person that sits on the National Security Council. He actually is going to testify today, and he said he's going to soon resign from his position. So I guess shit is getting real hot from him amidst this whole impeachment proceeding. Also, you have people that are going to, they tried to get John Bolton to the former national security advisor to actually come in and testify. But he said he's not. His lawyer said he's not going to testify unless he's subpoenaed. So really, shit, if they formalize the shit, they're probably going to get that dog. We'll see what happens. That's the warlord. So we'll see what he got to say. Green Wall graduate. The new world though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Now, I told y'all in the past, if y'all follow me, about what's been going on in India and Kashmir and Pakistan as a result, where India actually under Prime Minister Narendra Modi actually revoked their special citizenship status to where special status, pardon me, to where they then brought the Indian military in there. Set curfews, cut off all external communication, and are actually accused of committing extrajudicial killings, torture, and all of that, taking over that area. Straight human rights abuses over there. So, fast forward to Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister. He actually strengthened his control over that situation, over Kashmir, where the government of India, they announced that they are going to turn Jammu, the state of Jammu in Kashmir, and Kashmir into two separate federal territories that's going to be run by India all the way back in New Delhi. So that's some real like gangster shit, honestly. But it seems fucked up. Like it seems like it's a sort of takeover type shit going on. But keep this in mind as the people aren't taking that lightly. You have Kashmir militants that actually shot dead 5 construction workers, Indian construction workers. So it looks like it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Green Wall graduate. The new world daughter Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Yeah, I know I threw y'all the fuck off. I had to go and get my hair taken out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm right back like I never left. But check this out. The Pentagon has actually released footage of the I guess death of or proposed death of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Who is that? That is actually the somebody who's been credited as being the head of ISIS since 2010. I told y'all earlier this week how there was actually a raid in northern Syria by U.S. Special Forces, and he ended up blowing himself up and his kids. I said reported 3 before, but it turns out he was with 2 of his kids, and blew himself up. Trump has been on his media tour. Well, definitely last Sunday he said Baghdadi was caught, screaming, whimpering, and crying. But there's no audio on this. But nevertheless, the video itself is supposed to show the raid, the assault that led to that death. And the head of U.S. Central Command, General Frank McKenzie, actually said that al-Baghdadi's remains were buried in the sea, and that the U.S. was on alert for like retribution attacks. So we'll see what happens here. Green Wall graduate. Then the world though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Make sure y'all sign that petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube. But over in or go straight to change.org. Look up Get Donald Trump on Twitter. By Bishop Grady. $Head Grady. You know the shit. Now, over in Mindanao, in the Philippines, there's actually a 6.6 magnitude earthquake that rocked that motherfucker. You talking about it actually was waiting to get back to see what happened with that, but this is only 2 days after a similarly sized earthquake had rocked that area, where 8 people were actually killed, buildings were flattened, and 12,000 people were left homeless. So keep those people in mind. Your positive thoughts and prayers. Green Wall graduate. The new world daughter Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Brazil, I guess technically in Saudi Arabia, you have the Brazilian president Jair Bolsonaro. He's actually in the Davis in the Desert conference, the economic forum that they're having out there. He actually put out a 23-minute angry diatribe blasting Globo. Globo is the largest media conglomerate in Brazil, and Globo actually put out a broadcast which alleged that there was a link between Jair Bolsonaro and the murder of Marielle Franco. She was a Brazilian councilwoman, known environmentalist. I shouted her out in world broadcast number 11. You know what I mean? Gave her rest in peace. Now, the crazy thing is, the 2 suspects, there's Elcio de Queiroz, who's the alleged getaway driver, Globo quoted a doorman at Bolsonaro's residence that actually said that he, De Cueros, had came to the residence and was actually granted access after coming there to see Bolsonaro. And then afterwards, he goes over to this second suspect, an alleged triggerman, Ronnie Lester, who doesn't live too far from that. So, but you know, Bolsonaro isn't having it. He's denying knowing either suspect, despite the fact that there's a picture circulating around social media showing him and the De Cuero and his son actually dated for a short time Ronnie Lester's daughter. So it's kind of fishy, you know. He's definitely lying, right? Like Greenwald and Graduation. We'll go to Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox Newz Report. So over in the southwestern province of Cauca in Colombia, I've reported on this place before, but they were heavily armed men with you know what I mean, big guns and grenades and all of that, and they came and attacked a convoy that was actually out there to protect the Nasa Tequila indigenous region. And this convoy of people, yeah, they ended up getting shot at, you know, explosions going off next to them. 5 people died, 6 people were injured. Now, the five people that died were indigenous leaders, including community leader Christina Bautista. So this is actually looked at as pretty crazily. You have President Ivan Duque that actually came through that region and was blaming the FARC rebel group. Now the FARC rebel group, they were known for having their own uprisings and, you know, trying to power check the government, and had a peace deal with them for like some time that required the government to, like, you know, not engage in any corruption and all of that, whatever Colombia is known for being, like corrupt, drug run government type of place or whatever, as you know, is popularized here in the United States. But the FARC rebel group earlier this year already decided they're not going to do any peace deals with the government because they're not keeping their end of the bargain. So President Duque actually came through the region essentially blaming the FARC for that massacre, but the police have found no evidence of any of that. They're still looking for suspects. So unfortunately, all those people had to die. It's fucked up. Greenwald and Graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox Newz Report. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube, or go straight to change.org and look that up. Hey yo, Jack Dorsey, man, come on. How many times I gotta call you out? Now it's funny because this actual post is about Jack Dorsey, where he actually made the move he announced via Twitter. He's the CEO of Twitter, by the way. He announced that they are going to, in November, ban all political ads worldwide, and basically saying that while, you know, it's a great tool for you know, commercial use, provides a lot of power and influence or whatever, that basically it's a lot of weight when it comes to dealing with politics and affects the lives of millions and all of that, whatever. So, and big paraphrase, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, he made this announcement while CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, is actually under fire for them accepting political ads, even when you have people like Donald Trump and other motherfuckers that are like making obvious false claims in these ads, or like highly misleading. My only thing is, like, let's not let this far-right regime take us away from democratic practices that make sense. You know what I'm saying? Just because them motherfuckers lie all the time doesn't mean that everybody else is going to. And what's the harm of a political ad if it's true? My only thing. Greenwald and Graduation. What up, the New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox Newz Report. Remember I told y'all about Jeffrey Epstein, alleged billionaire but official multi-millionaire serial sex abuser. Dude had high-profile friends like Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and world leaders all across the board. But he used to get little teenage white girls, fuck on them or whatever, and then basically pimp them out. So this dude, he had dodged a charge in Florida. Well, he was convicted and did like a year in jail. He was real lenient or whatever. Did have to register as a sex offender, but New York got his ass, where he has a mansion up there, whatever. And nevertheless, he was in federal prison earlier this year and ended up killing himself in prison, or so they say. The brother of Jeffrey Epstein actually hired a forensic pathologist, Dr. Michael Badson, that basically concluded that his injuries run more concurrent with death by strangulation than they do by hanging yourself in prison, due to the fact that he had a broken neck. He had a broken bone in his neck, which doesn't really happen from people hanging themselves. So foul play. I mean, we kind of all knew it. Greenwald and Graduation